I am such an awesome guy. I make so many videos.
Hello there. Price of Reason here with a special report. So it looks like we have some breaking news when it comes to Lucasfilm, as today, just now, an article has been published in Vanity Fair where Dave Filoni is announced as the new Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm, and based on his own words, he's saying, "Now I'm what's called Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm," which according to Vanity Fair places him into the development process much earlier and in a much more expansive capacity than his previous duties. He says, "In the past, in a lot of projects I would be brought into, I would see it after it had already developed a good ways." Well, I don't know if good ways is a good way to describe it, but according to this article, Filoni will now work more directly with Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy and alongside Carrie Beck, a veteran producer turned head of development, to originate and shepherd the next generation of Star Wars shows and movies. Basically, there's just a lot of fluff and nonsense here after that, but the basic idea is this. And I want to give a shout out to Script Doctor who tweeted this, is that in his opinion this means that this is now preparing Dave Filoni to be the next head of Lucasfilm. He may be the successor to Kathleen Kennedy. And this may be the case, but with Kathleen Kennedy, and this is my personal opinion, you just never know. Always when you think that you can count her out, she somehow sticks around. But maybe she'll finally agree to take less of an active role when it comes to the creative side, but they'll still keep her on. I want to believe that whenever Kathleen Kennedy's contract is up in October 2024, she's just not going to be there anymore. It would be even nicer if she left sooner, but maybe in order to save face and help her save face, they're already sort of preparing Dave Filoni to be her successor. If you ask me my opinion on this, I think that Filoni is not right to be her successor. I think that if there was a person that was strong and could really lead a company, and he would have stepped in and he would have kept Filoni around, I think that Filoni would have had some purpose. But I think that after seeing Ahsoka, and over the years, it's become apparent that Filoni here and there may have an occasional good idea, and he did learn a lot from George Lucas, but let's be honest, he ain't no George Lucas. And Filoni is at best a guy that sort of absorbed something from Lucas, but I don't believe that he's on that level. So there's no real visionary here, and that's really the problem. I think that if they're counting on him to fix whatever's wrong with Lucasfilm, I don't think that that's the direction. When they talk about this at their board meetings, it may sound good to their investors. Maybe they'll be excited about it. But I personally think that this is really too little too late. I don't really know what could be done to even fix or save this franchise at this point. When it comes to all the Luke Skywalker stuff, the Skywalker saga, all the legacy characters, they've been destroyed and vandalized so much that I don't even think that you can turn the clock back on that one. Even if, let's say, they now came out and said that they're decanonizing the sequel trilogy, it's way too late at this point. So, I don't know what could be done to correct it. The only thing I could think of, and I don't think Filoni is the one to do this, is if they brought a completely new team of people and decided to jump into the future, maybe 1,000 years in this universe, a whole different reality, a whole different set of characters, and now, once again, the Sith are rising or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of, because anything else, I think it's done. I don't think there's a way to save it. You just can't fix the damage that was done. And that's really the problem with these franchises and with executives like Kathleen Kennedy and Alex Kurtzman with Star Trek, to a lesser extent Kevin Feige, because at least Kevin Feige can say that there were years that he did something that actually did work. Maybe he had a lot of help during those years, and maybe he had some supervision during those years, but at least he can claim some success. Whereas in the case of Kathleen Kennedy and Alex Kurtzman, they can't really claim anything. And really, when it comes to Star Wars and Star Trek, the fan goodwill element is so important, so they really messed up on that one. I don't know that those can be fixed. If I had to guess, I would say that Star Trek, maybe there's something to be done. A whole new team also, maybe jump into the future, forget about all that Discovery stuff, maybe you can fix it. Star Wars more difficult, but jump into the future, just wipe off all of that Kennedy-era stuff, and maybe there's sort of a future generation that may enjoy it. But honestly, in both cases, and especially with Star Wars, I can't imagine that the brand will ever be as big and as healthy as it was. So, Yeah, I don't have much hope for this. Obviously, the article is in Vanity Fair. That's a very fluffy publication. There have been times in the past where Lucasfilm needed to present something positively with a nice positive spin in a nice fluffy way, and Vanity Fair seemed to be an immediate choice for them to do that. I can't tell you exactly why they're the immediate choice, but they're a very kind of fluffy and friendly publication, so I guess that's why the article appeared there. This is probably to somehow make investors feel better, maybe the board at Disney. This is just Bob Iger. He can say, look, I'm doing something. We know she's on her way out. He studied under Lucas. This is good stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it sounds nice when he talks about it, but I don't think that it's a good permanent solution, and I ultimately don't think that it's going to help much, not at this point. Much more drastic things need to be done there. But Hollywood has a tendency to either not learn lessons or learn them very slowly, so I guess they're continuing to learn. I will say, though, that it's very likely that the latest South Park episode may have expedited some of this, because it's really hard to ignore how harsh the criticism was of Kathleen Kennedy in that South Park episode, and I feel like something has changed and somebody has to do something. But there's a saving face element, because they're not coming out and firing Kathleen Kennedy. They're trying to nicely prepare supposedly a succession plan. Let's see what kind of succession plan this is. I think that we've seen succession plans like with Iger and Chapek. This may be another situation like that, because I don't know Kathleen Kennedy to be that type of person that just walks away into the sunset. But we'll see what happens. In any case, I just wanted to bring you this quick update, and if you enjoy what I do here on this channel, please consider subscribing to it. I also have a live channel. You can subscribe to that one. Everything is in the description. And also, of course, click on that wonderful notification bell. Thanks for watching, my friends. Thank you, and good day.
I am such an awesome guy. I make so many videos.